Hello, welcome to Line War. Today we have Nickname, or Someone Said That My Nickname Sucks, versus Clutchi. So, both of them had a big debate on who was starting here, and blacklisted the area about 3 times. And so, in the end, they decided that Clutchi would start this side of the blacklisting, and Nickname starts this side of the blacklisting. So they are going to meet in the middle. It looks like Nickname wants to confirm or not whether they're in this area, so they're going straight that way. And it looks like Clutch is doing the same. Right at this point in the game, we have 2 barracks and 3 factories for Clutchi. And for Nickname, we have 3 factories and an airfield, with a barracks up in the north to help with expanding. Nickname's also spotted this little pathway here, which can help get into the back area of the base. They both have, actually. So it looks like Clutch is doing the same. This map is a bit of a weird one. We've got this section of an island, we have this section of the same island, and this area here. So this is a key location where, no matter where the enemies start, this will be a choke point. I think that Nickname does have the advantage if we just consider territory alone, because Clutchi, too determined to get this area as well, has started on this side, trapping himself into this area. Unless he's got a plan to get out of it, then it could be a problem, and he does. He's got some units spreading out down here without capturing territory, so he can get somewhere faster. So that's his plan to escape there. And that way he can produce some units down here and capture territory quite safely. Both players know where each other are now, and it looks like we have strikers coming from Nickname. And he's going for artillery and SAM units for the front line of infantry, but although Nickname is building strikers, he's got an energy well here, so that's alright. He's got 2 actually. So he should be fine. However, just to point out, there is a couple of little bits of land dotted around. There's a big section here, and a trade route with a town and city. So we'll see what ends up happening. So there's a lot of random trade routes in this map. And they are about to start a conflict here. And it looks like Nickname's set up his line here in the mountain and forest, but that has exposed this one little dude there. And I think, yeah, so he's noticed it and he's going to put his units right on the edge here to try and annoy him one at a time. There we go. So we have artillery from both sides entering the battlefield at the same time. And Nickname's units are going to be stealthed in this forest, so they're not going to be easily... They're not easily going to be spotted, so Clutchi is going to be a bit confused as to how many units the enemy has, whereas Nickname can see almost everything coming in, so he knows exactly what's going to happen. There we go, Nickname is pushing back Clutchi, and is going a bit on the offensive over here. Up in the north, it looks like we have a random commando slowly walking this way, and it looks like he's only building commandos here because there's another one coming out there. So although Nickname has probably won this first engagement, it's not as if Clutchi lost many units. He's only pulled back, and he's got more units coming in. And he might quite easily be able to push Nickname back. He just doesn't know how many units he's got. He might be concerned that he can only see these frontline units. There might be full of units in this forest, he just doesn't know. That's interesting to note that he hasn't gone for any energy-based units, so it's literally just factory and barracks that he's working off. Got another barracks popping up here. That will help increase his numbers. And it looks like Clutchi is a bit too concerned to engage yet. He's trying to get into proper positions by the looks of it. Meticulously planning his attack to advance. And from Nickname's side of things, he does have a lot hidden in this forest at the minute. And he's trying to push back any units that are trying to get into certain positions. So he's going to be pushing these artillery pieces back, but he's going to lose his infantry for that. And I want to see, Clutchi got his units down here. Yes, he did. He's got some units down there capturing territory now, so he's going to be able to control that area. Up here, it looks like he's trying to set up his nice curved line there. Both players have not met in this choke point yet. And as for Nickname, he was building commandos, so it might have been nice little plan for him to try to go through there with arrow commands and get through as quick as possible. Potentially get commandos up in this area without being spotted. So we have both players trying to close in on each other, and, well, Nickname is defending this forest and mountain area. And Clutchi is creating a complete circle, eventually, around Nickname. So it looks like both players have a plan here, and they know what they're doing. So I don't know what the outcome of this battle will be, because they started so close together. They met in the middle, and they just haven't managed to conquer each other at all yet. So at this point, we're just meticulously planning their next moves. And Nickname is probably going to run out of space back here, because Clutchi did manage to get down this area of the map, and if Nickname tries to sneak off down there, he's also going to get spotted. So there we go. That's what I was expecting. We got Nickname is building a naval yard, and that will probably be to try and take over some islands down in this area and get some extra territory that way. So I'm not expecting any warships or anything. It's just going to be transports coming from this, I would have thought. Maybe some anti-air, but probably just transports. The strikers are moving in now, and he's going to probably be able to take out that barracks. There we go. So 4 strikers were built over here earlier on in the game. Nickname still doesn't have energy production, but was able to use the strikers to go right over the top of these units and take out one of the structures. You start with 30 energy in the game. If I check, actually, no, it's 25 energy in the game. And these strikers were able to use that, and they pretty much used it all. They probably couldn't do that again. So he needs to set up his energy well. There it is. Which is probably perfect timing. So it's going to be built and probably ready before he tries to do his next attack. And these boats are going to require energy, so that is really good timing. He's got another energy while here he can utilise. And it looks like Clutchi is trying to fire across here. He probably didn't realise that. It was close enough, but it is now, and he's going to just get a free kill there. Any free kill is worth it, really. There we go. He's trying to push in slowly but surely. He's going to move his units just a tiny bit forward. And I've just noticed he's got a commando in over here. So Clutchi is sneaking his commandos around. He's pretty much using them for intel, because otherwise he probably would have attacked one of these structures. So he's just going to try and sneak in the commandos past the front line because of this little gap here. And I want to get rid of that. That's going to annoy me later. And Nickname can't see these commandos at all. However, because there's a transport boat here, he's going to have a lot of units coming down towards this area. My assumption is they're going to try and find the energy. And as soon as Clutchi saw the strikers, he started to build a SAM unit. But that SAM unit is not going to last much longer. There we go, it's down, and then he's going to target the factory once again. Taking out the production structures in this point in the game is probably a really good idea, because the faster you take them out, the less units will be on later. All that Nickname has to do is defend here and hold off as long as possible while his strikers take out the production, and that would give Nickname a great advantage later on. There we go, he's got a barracks set up down here, so he's going to have them do all the work for him. Let's have a look at Nickname's side of it. Go, so a nice little battle going on there, and it looks like Clutchi is able to curve around Nickname and therefore probably will get better kill to death ratio in this engagement. But the strikers are still working their magic behind this line, and they're trying to take out these factories, which is doing quite well for him so far. And Nickname's got his boats coming over here. He's going to try and take over this island first. There's eco there, so I assume that's what he's going for. Still got room for energy on his main section, but unfortunately Nickname wasn't able to hold this area, probably because of the way the defensive line was shaped. I wasn't too sure on the numbers, to be honest, so maybe that Clutchi way outnumbered him? Probably, considering the curve would have been a lot more numbers. So let's have a look at the eco at this point. So we've had our first major engagement that Nickname has lost at. We've got 600 from Clutchi per minute, and we've got 600 from Nickname per minute. So they're about equal footing at this point in the game. However, Clutchi does have potential to claim more, and so does Nickname, because it's going through the ocean. It looks like this energy well is going to be taken out soon, and that is Nickname's only energy source, so these strikers will pretty much come straight back in a minute. Right, so that boat is going to cross very soon, and we'll start claiming extra land for Nickname. But it's also I've just spotted that there are commandos sneaking in through the top. Like I said about using the arrow commands, he's got them, when they got here, he's moved them in with the arrow commands to get them in faster. And he's taken out some of the production, not only with his strikers, but now with his commandos. With what seems to be a well-organised attack here. So Nickname has set up his defensive line in the mountains here as well now. He's managed to get onto this island, so he'll be able to build up his eco soon. And it looks like Nickname has noticed a problem. There we go. The commandos have taken out that energy straight from Nickname. Nickname knows he's got a problem in the back of his base now, but just doesn't know how to deal with it right now. He's got a few units going there, but these are weaker than commandos, and the commandos outnumber them, so I'm not sure what he's going to do with this, but this one commando is going to go straight down for this town, and that would be a really bad investment for Nickname, because he's going to lose that before it even starts producing him money. And it's not like he can use his air units anymore. He's out of energy. Nickname's trying to push forward through this forest now. He's going to bring all of his units in a line formation forward instead of trying to send them in with line commands. Those commandos did do a great job of trying to control this area and take over some of the production. They've done a lot of damage to Clutchi. And it looks like those commandos are still roaming around. That town is under fire by a commando. He is building warships. I was surprised by that. I wouldn't expect some warships to be built. There are still some more commandos coming in through this area. But it looks like Clutchi has enough in this forest to be able to fight against Nickname, and Nickname just can't see it, so he's leading himself into a potentially dangerous situation. And is in a really bad situation right now because he can't send these off because of the commandos in the area. So this one's probably going to get a free kill on this town. You can see him just behind the smoke. These three commandos are going to come back in and try and take out this energy well before Nickname can really use it. However, he does have some units there, so he probably will spot them before they come in. But whether he can do much about it afterwards, if it builds, maybe he can send his strikers in to defend it. Not really sure. However, he is going for eco. He is building that over there. He did lose this town here. And he will be sending his infantry across to the other island as well for some extra eco. Clutchi has been busy down in this area of the map as well. He's just been capturing the land, but his units have been doing it for him. He set up all the lines earlier. And it looks like Clutchi is able to deal with the commandos that are sneaking in and around his base. Clutchi has pulled back. I think he's just trying to build up his numbers once again and send them in a big force. Commandos are trying to attack the naval yard and are going to be shot at by the cruisers instead, and he's going down. It looks like he's going for a defense line there, really. Well, not a defense line, but he's going for a defensive position. And it looks like Nickname's bringing his cruisers here to stop this choke point with his cruisers. So that's not actually a bad idea. Any units that produce through this area are going to be stopped by these cruisers. Or at least damaged heavily. And there are some SAM way out of position there. They're going to get shot at by those artillery as well. He wouldn't have seen coming anyway, so they were coming through this forest and mountain. So Clutchi is still trying to get into this area. I think he actually might have a chance of taking that out again. Strikers are once again on the move, and they're coming around the top of the map, down into this area, away from this frontline army. And the commandos have been spotted. I think Nickname's already set up a defense and planned for these guys to stay here to defend against those. And from Clutch's side of things, let's have a look. Those strikers should be coming into range very soon. He's built a lot more production. Let's have a look at the eco. So we have 780 from Clutchi, and from Nickname we have 690. Looks like he called back his strikers before they went in. And we have a sneaky commando that got through, but the other one is going to get spotted very soon, I think. Because there's a commando here. There we go. We've been spotted, and he's going to get shot at by two of them. One's dead, so he might be invisible now. Clutchi is moving his units back into place. But this line's going to confuse him. There we go. He's got rid of it. And Clutchi can see these cruisers coming in. So he knows what he's doing with his navy. And he's going down that section of the map because there isn't as much stealth there, so he's going to have to bring his units this way. The strikers have come down to try and stop it, which he will see these. And he'll see them pretty early, which means he's going to have to move his SAM closer into position. Probably over here. Those strikers are going to tear up a lot of this ground force on the ground right now. While the artillery in the forest are going to be able to do a lot of damage, but I just think this force is a bit too big right now, and these strikers are going to need to do a lot more damage in the long run. Which was lucky for him, because he pushed these SAM back, and now they were needed on the front. But I just don't think that forest is going to help with stealth enough, because I think he's got, what, 5 artillery in the forest here. He's got 2 more coming in. He does have a lot more artillery over here. And he's going to bring these cruisers back round, but Clutchi can see these moves, so that's not going to be too much of a surprise. And he's moving away from that area anyway. He might be able to catch these commandos as they go in. You just don't really know yet. So Clutchi has a lot of money saved up, and he's on 800 per minute. Whereas Nickname is on 700 per minute and doesn't have a lot of money saved up. So he is working on his economy though, and he's got a lot of production here. Got 2 barracks being produced. It looks like they're producing commandos, so I think he might be trying some sneaky boat tactics with commandos. There you go, he's bringing his units back round here. His commandos are sneaking in through the top of the map and accumulating right at the back of the base. And it looks like Clutchi has spotted this, and he's sending his units into that area to investigate. Probably spotted this territory has gone. And he doesn't want to be attacked from the back at all, so he is going to try and stop that happening before it becomes a problem. There we go, the commando's spotted some artillery and they've spotted him. I think Nickname has noticed that they're coming in this way and is going to try and use them some other way, so he's trying to bring them down. He's over here, he's got his units across, he's going to be still increasing his eco, which Clutchi is probably not doing at this point in the game. So Nickname still hasn't reached his full potential here. And instead of trying to go through these mountains here, it looks like Clutch is trying to go around the top. And he doesn't know it yet, but this is where the airfield is that keeps on having those strikers. So this is actually really good for Clutchi right now. Potentially able to sneak around the top and take out that airfield. Up here, those commandos are going to go down eventually, but looks like he might be able to hold off from this attack right now. There's only 3 versus 3, and it looks like commandos have the advantage. As well as more coming in through the top as well, so they're being reinforced. Nickname has noticed their movements, and he's actually set up a defensive line over here, or at least a normal line, I assume. Yeah. Normal line position here to help prevent that from happening. He wants to defend his airfield, which was a great idea, to be fair. I am surprised he's not using his strikers as much. He certainly could. He's doing it now, as soon as I say it. There we go. So he was surprised about not using them as well, so he's gone off and started using them. He's going to bring these over the top of his commandos, enter in this base, and Clutchi has gone full force up into this direction. Any and every unit's going to go up towards that way. As the enemy strikers are going to come in through this way and attack the structures. Doesn't actually look like he has a lot of SAM units anymore. They are grouped up in this forest though, so... We've got some units sneaking around over here. The strikers are coming in now, over the top of the commandos. Clutchi is moving his SAM units pretty quickly into position. But it looks like he's going to get a barracks for his efforts here. And the barracks is down. There we go. I think the strikers are going to stay and try and take on the SAM units and the ground forces here. The helicopters have joined into the battle. There we go. So has Clutchi got any energy at all? No, he hasn't. So he isn't producing any energy, but he started building air units. And Nickname now knows he's got air units. He is building an energy production there, I just noticed. There we go. So, we have more commandos coming in, but they're coming in one at a time. So they're going to get killed by these artillery and the SAM units, but they are still good scouts, but they are like dying one at a time at the same time. But they are doing alright at setting up these units to be killed later on. We have strikers moving back, maybe to increase production. And it looks like the strikers aren't going that way anymore anyway, so... Nickname is trying to close in on Clutch's force here. I think Clutchi outnumbers Nickname in this scenario. But Nickname is trying to use the positioning to his advantage and have many people lined up in his sights at one time. He is taking minimal damage from this, but these units might be able to come around the side. I don't know what Clutch is planning to do yet. He's coming around the side over here, and he's going to be able to try and push through on this one, this area hard. These units are going to die a lot faster than these ones over here. But this is protected by the cruisers as well, which I didn't even consider at first. So that might be great in the end for him. These strikers, on the other hand, could probably be used to take out this area as well, to weaken that force that is attacking his weak point. And unfortunately, Nickname just isn't able to hold up this line here. He's absolutely lost it. Pretty much because of the outnumbering forces. It looks like Clutchi has the advantage right now. He's forgotten about this area up here. He's already captured it. I think he's got his units there now. And he needs to start bringing them back. And it looks like Clutch has saved up so much money, he's just going to spend it all at once now. And he's buying energy well, deposits, airfield, and a barracks. No, a factory, sorry. And a barracks. He spotted the commandos, he's going to sort those guys out. And I just think Clutchi has such a high eco. Well, to be fair, they're still pretty similar. Clutchi's just making better trades at this point in the game. Because Nickname has mostly had his units in this area. And these guys are getting stuck, they're doing a little dance. And he sent his strikers down this way to take out these infantry. Pretty much 3 kills at this point. Those infantry aren't going to do much damage to the strikers. So this is a very good trade for Nickname. As well as Nickname's building up some forces down here. He's going to try and take over this territory of his. While scouting it with the cruisers, he's building up some infantry. He's going to go down there. He's weakened with strikers. So I'm going to assume that that is Nickname's next target. Clutchi decided not to push through because he doesn't know what's in this mountain over here. And he's decided to stay back a bit. And it looks like he's going to ignore what's happening down here. He has remembered these units here. He's bringing them back down. He's sending his helicopters over the top of this area to the choke point here. Try and catch any of those scouts coming through. There we go, so the strikers are off again. They're going to come down this way. But they're going to be returning home very soon because he has no energy. And at this point in the game, I just don't think you need... I just spotted this. I don't think you need many C units. I think it's got enough at this point. You can stop production, maybe just focus more on the ground. But he has been transporting these commandos across down here to take over this land at this point in the game as well. So although I think Clutchi is making a lot better trades early on in this game, he's not taking the opportunity to maybe attack in certain times that he could have, because he seems to have been able to beat Nickname's engagements almost every time. But Nickname has a plan, and he is going to use it. He's going to be able to take down this section, and that's going to decrease Clutch's hold, or his clutch onto the game, and slowly diminish him over time, chipping away at him in the long run. So I don't actually know who's going to win this right now. Clutchi is able to hold off a lot of money. He's got 800 per minute, which is lower already than what we were looking at before. And now Nickname has the economy advantage. He has 1,000 per minute. So although Nickname keeps losing this battle up in this area, trying to push back and make sure the enemy stays where he is, the enemy is so close to his main infrastructure, he could have taken him out earlier. Potentially, anyway. And now, Nickname's grown a bit more. He is able to expand down into this bottom of the map, taking eco away from Clutchi and giving it to himself. And now he's pretty much trapped these units with 3 lines of infantry that are coming to attack. And now this area is in control of Nickname. So sometimes holding out longer is just not the best option, even if you are ahead. Clutchi is sending some sneaky forces up to through the top of the map, which Nickname can't see. Oh, because they're here. I thought they were here. So Nickname can see some of them, but he does have 2 commanders there as scouts, hidden away in the mountains, the forest, and randomly on the ground there. And Clutch's forces seem to be growing massively in number, and I think Nickname's going to probably have to hold him off very soon. But as long as he does, he might be able to win this in the long run. What's his eco like down here? He's building a city, I think, or he's building a town. I'm not sure if that's a town being built or a town that's there being built into a city. And it looks like Clutchi is bringing his commandos in to try and take that area away again. We don't have too many there, so I think Nickname should be safe. But his helicopters are coming in as well, and they're going to take on these cruisers pretty easily. Cruisers do have an anti-air gun, but they don't really do a lot of damage. That's not their main focus. And here we go. We have Clutchi trying to go for the kill now by the looks of things. Going straight up against these lines of artillery. Helicopters facing off against the strikers. And now the strikers do have a gun, again, that can kill air units. But it's not as effective, and the helicopters can use both their gun and missile, I believe, on the strikers. But when grouped together, the strikers can do a lot of damage. We saw it take out one helicopter there. And there we go, we've got the middle section of these artillery going down pretty quickly. These infantry are going to hold off this line here against those commandos, and I'm going to have a look now. Those commandos, well, these units, they're just spreading out. They're going to try and capture the territory first. It looks like Nickname is focused on this section of the map. But we also have those units coming in there, which it looks like Nickname killed already. Yeah, he sent his strikers up there and they've destroyed it. It looks like Clutchi is using interceptors in response to the strikers from Nickname, and also Clutchi can see this airfield now. He knows exactly what's there. And it looks like Clutchi is able to push back against Nickname really hard right now. And Clutch's economy is taking a massive hit right now. He is at negative 130 every minute. So this money he's got saved up right now is going to be draining really fast. Okay, the cruisers coming down to this section of the map. They're going to try and provide extra support, destroying as many artillery as they can. But I don't know how Nickname is going to survive this one. There is a lot of infrastructure in this area that Nickname has to defend. And this is a big force from Clutchi. Nickname side of it, you can still see reinforcements being brought in. However, he's building another town there, which is a bit risky. Unless he knows something I don't. And he's building a docks up here. I think this was just to build up his eco before this attack happens, which is unfortunate timing for Nickname. So now Clutchi is going to get some free kills on those as well. However, there isn't a lot of SAM units in this area, so I think these strikers might actually be able to do a lot of damage. They might be able to hold them off with enough attacking runs. Nickname obviously thinks he can hold this. He is going to have a factory being built there. So he thinks he's going to be able to push back. So he is confident with his strikers right now, and I think that's his main thing to use. But the interceptors are coming in and telling him no, that's not going to happen. And you can see these strikers being swatted out the sky like flies right now. And the interceptors are even giving chase right over top of the structures, all the way up into the airstrip by the looks of things. There you go, he's diverted away. So Clutchi, if watching that, may know that there is another airfield down here. And that interceptor is going down. There we go. We have thinned out his forces a lot right now. This was a bigger army before this battle began. So Nickname has done a great job trying to weaken this army before it did too much damage, but unfortunately I think it's done a lot of damage already. And that's a bit cheeky. He's built another town on this side because it's not being attacked in this direction, which is kind of funny. So we've got another force preparing to come through there, which Nickname can also see. There we go, another striker went down there. And we've got a city, I was right, it is a city being built there. And it looks like these boats are going to try and capture all of the ocean. And that should help with the eco for Nickname in the long run. So Nickname's eco, despite being attacked heavily, is at 1,300, and now, because he has lost his main structures, he doesn't have much spending or expenditure, so he's now going to have the ability to rethink his strategy and try and push through once again somewhere else. And now that the force has gone this way, he's bringing in his units here, and instead of going that way, I would probably bring the units around here and start doing a base trade. Send some units this way to stop these guys coming through, and send in as much of the force as I can this way through the base and do as much damage to any structure that I can. So from Nickname's side of things we have... Oh, that's Clutches. From Nickname's side of things, we don't have much going on down here. He's trying to build some sneaky boat stuff here. He's got transport boats trying to go across there, and a barracks that will produce the units to do so. And it looks like Nickname is going to bring his units across this way as fast as he can. But I think they're just going to get hit by these units instead. They're going to end up taking too much damage to be useful in the long run. And unfortunately, Nickname lost his airfield over here. And it has been retreated to this section of the map. There are units coming in this way, but he's used most of the units left here to go that way. And there's a bigger force coming down from the south here. So we still have that main force. And Nickname is just really trying to hold off any extra reinforcements coming in from any other direction. And it looks like Clutchi is going to once again hold this section of the map very soon. And it's here, his nickname is trying to sneakily get some commandos to cut across the water there. There we go, so he's using his infantry to slow down the artillery in this location, so that he has more time to build up his own units. There we go, we've got interceptors up here to try and support the units flowing through this area. He's literally using interceptors to take out infantry. Not the best of counters, but it's still going to be extra damage for almost nothing. And when you've got as much energy as you do, you can take any free damage you can. And now these artillery are going to be curving around here, setting up a nice little curved line for himself to take on Nickname. But Nickname's not giving up in this match. He's going to try and hold out as long as he can and try and push back later on. He obviously has a plan. I think this is his plan. But I think he's been spotted early. Has Clutch actually spotted him? No, he hasn't. He might have spotted him, but he hasn't spotted him now. I gotta be honest, Clutchy is on the ball. I think he might have seen something going on there. He's sent some units down there already. So even though he's having this massive fight up here, he is managing to control what's going on in other places and spot any sneaky tactics from Nickname as it happens. There we go, the interceptors are making it easier for his units to build up in this area and push on further as well. And these artillery are eventually going to make it through in this area of the map. Nickname doesn't really have much of a defense over there. He's literally just producing them and trying to get them out to do as much damage as possible while they can. There we go, we've got some more artillery going down there. Got boats still taking over territory in the water, so they're doing well conquering the ocean. And it looks like these artillery are getting south from the forest, so Nickname can't see them all, but he has a good idea on what's there. And despite this whole front line being attacked, has he sent them all in at once? No, they're streaming in slowly, so he did take a lot of units off to go down this way, but Nickname is holding off this section quite easily. It looks like he had some cruisers that were here trying to support this area of the map, but I think Clutchy is going to make it through there very soon. Commandos can't really do much against the artillery when they're in a defensive line, so Clutchy is out of money though. He has no economy to use right now. He's got 812, but he's also spending a lot more than he's got. Whereas Nickname, on the other hand, is earning double what Clutchy is earning. It was 800, wasn't it? Rid of that. So he was earning 800. Yes, 800. And Nickname is earning over double that. And is currently losing. So if Nickname can hold out a little bit longer, he might actually set up trade routes. So even though I said building this probably wasn't worth it because these guys are coming in through here, they got distracted and went up this way. I don't know if that was the intention, but it happened. And he set up trade routes whilst being attacked on both sides and pretty much, like, no offense Nickname, but losing on both fronts. He is still being cheeky enough to get these eco routes set up. And that is going to earn him lots of eco. And it might even be enough to make a comeback in this game. So we got Clutchy right now, and I know that there were some commandos down here. He is trying to search for them. He knows they're there too. I don't know if any's left, so yeah, Nickname's still got some hiding as far into the corner as he can. And they are taking out this artillery. He's starved, he can't be seen. If he takes that out quick enough, that would be good. Oh, he's got... I've just noticed how wide his visual range is. So Nickname is sneaking in through. He's even got units up here. The commandos are being attacked... are attacking from behind. This is now a base trade. So Clutchi, with the least amount of eco, is trying to attack with the biggest force on the ground. And Nickname has the most eco and is attacking with tiny, well, not tiny, but small strike forces across the map. I gotta be honest, it's very impressive. And even at this point in the game where I thought Nickname wouldn't, I don't know how he was going to come back from it. Has made a few cheeky plays and has managed to come back. He is certainly going to do a lot of damage with those commandos. So he's already done most of it, but these units have come down here, now he's left this exposed. That was his next plan. These artillery are coming down, but I think with more commandos being sent there, they'll be able to take him out. Right, so from Clutch's side of things, he's built getting his units back up and running, and he needs to send them through here, but the problem is he just doesn't have the eco for it anymore. Nickname has practically made him suffocate. He's taken away the eco so he can't get to it. He's managed to hold off this line as well from the artillery. And Clutchi went from an easy win to being, well, choked out into the corner of the map despite owning still a lot of the map. He just hasn't got anything to use anymore. Nickname has saved up a lot of money. He's got 2 airfields set back up. He's got factories producing units again. And none of these are going to be interrupted production. They're just going to continuously flow in production. And Clutchi is on the run. He's trying to save what units he has. Because these units are producing, but with negative production, they are going to be interrupted, and occasionally they won't be producing anything, so he's got slower production. Probably with this airfield, it's probably not producing because of that, but it might have been a choice. He might have turned it off. Can't really tell at this point. He has broke through here, though. He has managed to get through there. It looks like he's just... No, that's got to be stealth, right? Yeah, so this town is built there, but because it's in the forest, it looks stealth, so you can see the docks, which is really weird visual to see. But he managed to get through. However, the cruisers have now trapped them there. They're not going to be able to break through again, and Nickname can hold that line once again. There we go, the commanders are still up there, but they have been spotted. They are going to get taken out by these helicopters eventually. They nearly took out this airfield as well as the barracks that was there. However, he has got commandos coming in once again, but they are probably going to be spotted, so he may need to move these a little bit out of the way. Because I think they're going to get spotted by this army and destroyed, so... Right, we don't have much of an engagement here. It looks like Clutchi is still trying to run, and Nickname is taking back his mountain over here. But up in the top here, it looks like Clutchi is trying to break through again, and we're being defended against with helicopters. Nickname is defending with helicopters, should I say. He's got a lot more production coming out again. So these are factories. He's got 3 more factories being produced. And it looks like he has every trade route set up possible. So that is a massive amount of eco for Nickname. Right, so I think up in here we've still got... he's got barracks up there in the forest. So Clutchi probably doesn't know this, but he's going to want to take this territory anyway. But he probably doesn't notice these barracks here at all. He might just think they're getting through down here through the boats and just sneaking their way up there, hence why he's trying to bring his units around this way to stop any flow of units that way. But it looks like these commandos have failed now. Well, I say failed, they were very successful at one point. But they have currently gone down. They've done their job and they're out now. But now Nickname is able to build up his forces here. He's still got a large amount of eco and some more coming in. So Nickname is only going to get bigger and bigger. Whereas Clutchi is going to struggle to hold on in this now. He's got a lot of commandos coming in there. What does that look like from Nickname? Because he can't see them? Yes, he can. Okay. They're not stealthed enough, but he does have a lot of units in this area, so it doesn't surprise me. And those commanders are moving really fast. They're on haste or something. Nope, they're on ours. I thought they were on haste. But now, Nickname's got some artillery coming down here. When did he get artillery there? Yeah, he's got 2 factories now, so he's got artillery moving in from there as well. So now that there's this big front army here, the reinforcements are going to get cut off, and these commandos are going to sneak around. Which Clutchi can see, but they're going to try and sneak around and do as much damage to the base as possible. Anything going on up here? No, it looks like Nickname has control over that part of the map too. Clutchi is going to send his units up there to claim the territory anyway. Down here it looks like he's controlled this area too, so those commandos are not going to be that useful anymore unless he uses an aircraft to drop them in instead. Now commandos are unable to get through, but they were a good scout for Nickname. We could see right into the base. And Clutchi is now surrounded. Pretty much. He's got this line to deal with over here, which is going to break through this eventually. Whereas Clutchi is struggling to maintain his eco even after losing a lot of his army. So I think it's safe to say that Clutchi is in a tight situation now. It's pretty difficult to come back from this one. But it's just amazing how Nickname was able to out-eco, but yet still not use that many units to take out the key structures of Clutchi that took this game away from him. It's probably got to be one of my favourite comeback wins of any game. And I don't think these interceptors are going to be strong enough to take out the commandos before the commandos destroy that airfield. There we go, it's gone down as well, but that is going to help with his eco, at least. And these interceptors might not be able to survive now because, well, some of them will go back to this airstrip over here, but I don't think they all can land there. I think they're all going to struggle with that. I don't know how many he's got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Maybe they can go back? 6? No, you can only have 5 at an airfield. This one is straying off. So he doesn't know where to land. That, or I don't know where he's going to land and he's going to fly off and die maybe? Oh, there's an airfield right there. I'm looking at an airfield and I'm like wondering where he's going to go. There we go. So we got the artillery moving in from this section of the map. It looks like Clutchi was able to stop the force coming down from this section. However, it looks like we've got helicopters coming in. So they're going to move in like this. Straight through there, behind the forces. He wants to take out the energy well to stop the aircraft lifting off, but Clutchi, seeing these helicopters are going to bring the interceptors straight into the battle, but he doesn't have a lot of energy. And this amount of interceptors will use that energy up really fast, and they won't be able to stay there for very long. So these helicopters might be more beneficial to stay there while they're in position, but they might go down really fast to interceptors. We are at the end of the match, and I did not realise how long I'd been watching this game. It's really interesting to watch this one. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought of this match and what either player should have done better or worse. Well, you know what I mean. There are 2 videos on screen right now. Have a look there, and I'll see you in one of them. See you around, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember to sub.